Do you know exactly what it costs to get somebody from Facebook to your website? It's surprising how many brand owners get this wrong. Welcome to Ad Spend Secrets. My name's Luke Smith. In this episode, it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a tactical one. We're going to go over click metrics and the ones that you should look at and the ones that you can safely ignore. Now, we audit a lot of accounts every week and we speak to brand owners every week, and it's surprising how often I get on a call with a brand owner and they're looking at the wrong click metric, which means that they're misinterpreting what it actually costs to get somebody from Facebook to their website, and potentially the decisions they're making down the track or the numbers they're looking at with conversion rates and things like that are skewed, or they might be off because of those initial click metrics that they were looking at. They might be sort of labeling those as good and in the green, whereas in reality they might be red and something that might need attention. So the metrics we're going to look at specifically are the click-through rate and the actual click volume numbers. And there's a couple of different variations. So there's 3 to 4 that we'd probably look at primarily. And the biggest mistake that brands make is they look at what's called clicks in brackets all in Meta and CTR in brackets all. Now, the reason this can be misinterpreted or it can give you false data or it can overinflate the click metrics is because when it has in brackets all, what that means is it actually includes likes, comments, shares, any click on the ad unit itself is going to get lumped into that number. And so it's not actually giving you a true reflection of how many clicks have clicked the ad and left Meta. So it incorporates too much. If somebody even clicks the see more on the post copy to expand the post text on the ad, it's probably going to include that. Likes, comments, shares, definitely. Clicks into a lead form, an instant experience or other formats, it's going to include those. So you'll typically see clicks in brackets all higher than any other click metric in the account. That's one that we would use more so for engagement. So we'd look at the CTR all, CTR in brackets all, as a measure of engagement. And for reference, we want to see that 3% and above. In most accounts, you should be seeing 3% or above. If you're not getting that kind of number, your ads aren't getting the attention they need. They're not getting the interactions that they need to start getting those above average ratings and get those low delivery costs on the Meta platform. So that's something that we'd look at more of an engagement metric. But the mistake that I see brands make is they look at that number and they think my click-through rate is really high. When the one you actually want to be looking at, and there's a couple of different ways you can look at this, but we safely more so look at link clicks. Okay, so instead of clicks, it's called link clicks. And so you can look at CTR in brackets link clicks in Meta. You can add these in your columns in your reporting. And what you're going to see is a metric that gives you a slightly more accurate view. It's people that have clicked the ad to open up an instant experience lead form or leave to an external website. So it just removes a few of those other engagement pieces that can inflate that click number, and it can give you a better view of the actual click-through rate on your ad. So we want to see this number 1% and above. Now, if you want to take it one step further, there's another metric called outbound clicks. And so you can then look at only the clicks that people have made to leave Facebook. And so if you think about it in terms of a hierarchy, you're going to have at the top, you're going to have clicks all, then you have link clicks, and then you're going to have outbound link clicks. Okay, so it's going to become lesser and lesser in terms of the volume, in terms of the number there, but it gives you an idea of how many people are actually clicking your ad and leaving Facebook. If you can get a click-through rate for outbound link clicks of 1% and above, you're typically going to start to see a pretty good CPC, and things are going to start to, move back in range where you need them to be to get cheap enough traffic to get a decent conversion rate on site, and it'll work back into an okay CPC. So, okay CPA, sorry. So I'm going to share screen. I'm just going to show you what this looks like in platform, because it's always good to get a view of these columns. So if you can see these columns here, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, I'll talk you through it. But here we're looking at link clicks, and in this example, over 30 days, we can see, let's start at the top actually. So we can see the number of clicks all, 6,936. So that incorporates likes, comments, shares, the works, any engagement on the ad unit itself. Then we go down one level lower, and you see link clicks. That's 5,260. So you can see it drops quite a bit. So you can see that if you look at the click-through rate, it's actually 1.77% for link clicks. And when you look at the click-through rate for all, it's 2.34%. So some brands we speak to, they look at the click-through rate all at 2.34% and think my click-through rate's amazing, there's nothing wrong with the ads. But then they might look at the click-through rate for link clicks and it might be 0.6%. And so it is problematic and it does need attention. And so that's where, they can start making the wrong decisions based on this data, and, looking at these columns in the right way can really help you move forward. So we've just seen the difference between the click-through rate all, the click volume for all, the click-through rate for link clicks, and the click volume for link clicks. Now, the next one here is your outbound clicks that we spoke about. So the definition within Facebook here is the number of clicks on links that lead to destinations outside of Meta technologies. So this is the truest indicator of people that have clicked the ad and indicated that they're leaving, they're going to the website, they're going to your store or your shop. And the number here is 5,082 in this particular campaign in this example. And the CTR for outbound link clicks is 1.71. So this should always be lower than the CTR for link clicks alone. When you're looking at the outbound version, this is that third tier that we spoke about. Now, there is a fourth tier, and this is one just to check website loading time is one way in which we look at this, but what we're looking at is the landing page views. So if we look at the definition for landing page views here, it's the number of times that a click on an ad resulted in the successful loading of the destination web page. So they've made an outbound link click, they've then landed on your store, and the landing page view represents the fact that they've been on the site long enough for the page to load, and Facebook's pixel has loaded and tracked it as a landing page view. So if you can get a decent cost per click for a landing page view, it's called cost per landing page view, another metric that's here in Meta, available for you to look at. If you can get a low cost per landing page view, that's great. That means that you've got somebody to leave Meta, you've got them to hit your website, and if you can start to get that number down over time, you're getting cheaper and cheaper traffic, and not just traffic into, a collection format or an instant experience or a lead form on Facebook. You're getting cheaper traffic to your website where they're more likely to buy. So I hope that was helpful. Just wanted to clear up a few of these different metrics here that can be very confusing. They're very, very similar, but they are different, and the difference is quite important when you're trying to make decisions based off of this data. If you need any help, or if you'd like an audit on your account, just reach out to us at simplyconverting.com.